time. Just taking this road glide out for a cruise. I'm going to cruise through Dappin Park here, which is the home of Grayson Stadium and the famed Savannah Bananas. There's a game tonight. It is a packed house. My wife is in there working, so hey wife, I'm not sure where you're at. I'm sure she can't see me and doesn't know I'm out here, but anyway, this is the home of the Savannah Bananas. Just taking a quick trip through the park. Let's see what's going on. Man, this parking lot's full all the way around. On the back side of the stadium now, you can see the cars are just stacked out here. I'm gonna get out of here. So that's always fun. If you're ever in Savannah and you're lucky enough to get tickets to a game, which they are very hard to get, it's definitely worth a night to go check out the Savannah Bananas. They're very entertaining, a lot of fun for the whole family. And if you're here at the home stadium, you get free burgers, dogs, chicken sandwiches, chips, soft drinks. There's some things you can buy too, but I mean, who needs to? You go in there and most of the food's for free. Anyway, we're just going to cruise around Savannah here. I think I'm going to take a ride out to Skidaway Island and see what's going on out there. Check out a little bit around the island. So while we take this beautiful cruise around Savannah, Georgia, actually I'm a little more close to, I think I'm on Skidaway Island, but I'm not positive. I've just been kind of driving southeast. But I kind of want to talk about something that makes my wife shake her head, and that's when riders rev their engines or blip their throttles, whatever you want to call it, when they're at a stoplight or, you know, going down the road or whatever the case may be. We're all guilty of it. We all do it for different reasons, and maybe we can talk about a few of those reasons today. And check out some of these beautiful properties down here near Savannah while we do that. Oh, looks like a dead end. I'm going to have to turn around. But anyway, these are obviously my opinion. So if you guys have other reasons why you think people rev their engines on their motorcycles, or disagree or agree with what I'm saying, let me know down in the comments. The number one reason I think people do that, and I gotta say, non-riders don't really understand. They may be able to say, look at these bikes and say, that's an expensive motorcycle. Yeah, for sure, it's an expensive motorcycle. But what they don't think about is the money we put into them in aftermarket parts, like exhaust, for one thing. That'd be the first thing that I always do, is change my slip-ons, put on something that sounds better, and you know, try to get that Harley sound that I fell in love with all those years ago. You know, you hear a guy pull up to a stoplight and you hear him rev his engine, you know, and I love it. I love the sound of a Harley. I love the sound of my Harley. It's what brought me to riding in the first place, was the sound of a motorcycle. So I love to hear a bike revving at the stoplight. It doesn't bother me a bit. Now my wife always likes to shake her head and say, why do people do that? Well, there's a number of reasons why. The number one reason, I think, is because we like to hear our bikes. You know, we spend all this money on these motorcycles, and first thing we do is put exhaust on it, and when you ride, especially in Georgia or other states that require helmets, you can't hear the pipes. You just can't. I mean, you can, but it's not like hearing them outside. Like when you do that, when you rev it a little bit, you can hear it a little bit better. It's not like it's not really, you can't really hear it as much as you think you can. So a lot of us like to hear the way our pipes sound, because when we're on them, we hear a lot of wind noise, and we don't get to hear those pipes the way we wanted to hear them. So a lot of times we'll just flip the throttle at a stoplight just to hear it. I'm guilty of doing it. I've done it many times. And you know, you'll hear people going under an overpass, and they'll just pull the clutch in and just rev the heck out. Some of them even hit the rev limiter. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but you know, I don't mind hearing that. Like I said, it doesn't bother me because I'm a rider and I like to hear the pipes. I personally would rather hear the bike under load. So if I'm going under an overpass, or if I'm going under a bridge or something like that, and that's a dead end too. If I'm going under a bridge or something like that, I might downshift a notch or two, and then, you know, give it a little bit of juice so I can hear that, hear those pipes under load, because that's when it sounds the best to me. It sounds good rubbing it with the, you know, flipping the throttle and such too, but it just doesn't sound as good to me as it does under load. So if I'm going down the highway and I'm crossing a bridge that has two concrete guardrails, one on each side, or if I'm going downtown a city block or something and there's buildings, big buildings on both sides, I like to really hear it. I don't, like I said, I don't pull in the clutch and just rev it, be revving it. I like to hear the bike under load, so I'll just get on it a little bit, you know, maybe drop a gear and get the RPMs up, and then listen to it under load, because that's the way I like to hear it. I might say another reason that, in my opinion, people rev their bikes when they're riding is to let people hear them. And you know, non-riders don't understand what it's like to be out here on these bikes and have people not see you, and just be almost invisible to a lot of people on the road. So a lot of guys like to flip their throttles while they're sitting at intersection with cars on both sides, just so everybody knows they're there. You know, it's a little bit unnerving sometimes, thinking that, you know, cars to your left or your right will change lanes at any second and take you out. You know, you'll hear them flip those throttles, and some guys can be real excessive, be really, you know, just over the top with it. But it's really not that big a deal. You know, it's just they either want to hear the bike or they're letting you know they're there. The number one reason why I like to rev my bike or flip my throttle is to rev match. If I'm coming down the highway and I'm coming up to a stop, and I don't do it if my bike's like at a slow speed, like I just, you know, when I just downshifted right there, I don't tend to rev match in those kind of situations. I like to do it when my bike's at a higher speed. And if you're a non-rider and you don't know what rev matching is, it's basically when you pull in the clutch, you're dropping the engine speed down to idle, and the transmission is still going in the same speed you were going before you pulled in the clutch, obviously. So you can either just downshift and drop the clutch and go on, or you can downshift and rev match and try to bring the engine speed up a little bit closer to the transmission speed, so you reduce the risk of damage on your drivetrain, and you reduce the risk of causing yourself to have an accident. And I know that's very rare. I've never personally had an accident by downshifting too fast, but I like to try to minimize the wear and tear on my drivetrain as much as possible. And I've always rev matched in my cars. I've had a couple Camaros that were manual 6-speed on the floor, and I've always rev matched to try to preserve that drivetrain a little bit more. My wife drives a Veloster N. It's an automatic, but it has paddle shifters, and it does rev matching, and it sounds really cool when it does it. Mama and baby running down the side of the street. There goes baby into the woods. So while I'm looking for a gas station, I end up down here at a dead end, and I'm at the, what does it say? Skidaway Institute of Oceanography. The University of Georgia Skidaway Institute of Oceanography. Never been here before. Didn't intend to come here today, but hey, we got to see it together. Just about to pass the Wormsloe historic site, right here, and it's very recognizable. That entrance right there, it used to be open to public, it's not anymore. They've changed it. That's the long driveway, about a mile long driveway of trees, and I'm sure you've seen that in several movies, but that looks like the new public entrance right there. I'm kind of bummed about them changing that. So not sure why they did, but it is what it is. Now we're getting to where I wanted to be earlier, when I thought I wanted to go to Skidaway Island. I did not want to go to Skidaway Island. I wanted to go here. If we get down here, we can see. Oh my gosh, it's rough. This road is rough. This is one of the coolest neighborhoods in the Savannah area down here, and it's on the Isle of Hope and not on Skidaway. And I'm not sure why my screen has not changed to dark mode yet. It's a little bit annoying because it's starting to get dark outside. I think they need to do some serious root removal on that road. Hey, there we go. The screen finally changed. But we're down here close to, I'm not sure if there's a river out there. Oh, nice deer in the yard. I'm not sure if there's a river out there or if it's just overflow plains or what it is, or if it's just tidal plains or whatever. But it's really cool down here, and we love to drive around this area when we can. Some of these roads are so tiny though. Man, this place right here is cool. This road right here is something else, man. Check that out. It's awesome to have that in the front yard. Love the lights in the trees. I don't know if these are, I assume that these are all just single family houses, and you know, they could be rentals maybe, but man, it's a beautiful area down here. There's some of the coolest houses down here, and some of the nicest properties you'll ever see down in this area. Love to drive through here. Love to check this place out. Last time I was here, it was cold outside. It wasn't cold, but it wasn't summertime. Man, what a cool neighborhood. Look at all those boats. So if you have any other comments or any other opinions about why people might flip their throttles or, you know, rev their bikes when they're riding, drop it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. But I think it drives non-riders crazy. I personally like it. I like the sound of the bikes. I like the sound of the bikes, even when I hear a sport bike doing it. Wasn't ready to end the video yet since I'm cruising through downtown Savannah. I thought I'd get a little bit of footage of downtown. I'm not sure that this road is going to be the best, Bay Street or Broughton Street, but those roads are so busy. It would have taken me twice as long to get through town. So I'm gonna try to get through this area here and then go across the big Talmadge Bridge so you can see downtown from over the bridge, if you can see it. I'm not sure if you can with the camera mounted on my helmet or not, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, so we're to the end of Oglethorpe, almost to the end of Oglethorpe, getting ready to cross over Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, which if I took a right here, went down a few blocks, that'd take me down to River Street, Bay Street, and all those sections of town where everybody likes to go. But we want to cross the Talmadge Bridge, so we're going to go straight through here and head straight out of town this way. All right, we're rolling up on State Road 17, which is going to be that Talmadge Bridge right there. And hopefully you'll get a good view of downtown Savannah. I don't know that you will or not. We'll just have to try